Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. Julian Lewis is going to be a Colorado Buffalo. Welcome to the Emergency Show. Let's go. Let's go, squad!
It's a historic day for Coach Prime and the Colorado Buffaloes.
So Liz.
As after months of waiting, of rumors, of predictions, crystal balls, speculation, visits, etc., Julian Lewis has committed to Coach Prime and the Colorado Buffaloes. The Buffs have their successor to Shedeur Sanders.
I used to pray for times like this.
For real.
I'm not even kidding, bro. Wow. What a day. This is truly a monumental day in Colorado history. And if you haven't checked it out already, our guy Philip Dukes already dropped a kind of why, how, what this means video on the channel. Yeah. And one thing he said in there really stuck with me. He said, this is a Travis Hunter-esque get for Coach Prime, and you know what that means. Julian Lewis is so incredibly advanced as a passer, a true 5-star quarterback, an absolute surgeon when it comes to placing the football. Does that sound like anyone?
Oh, it does.
Sure does.
It sounds a lot like Shedeur Sanders, man. And he's obviously got a long way to go in his development to get to the level that Shedeur is at. But accuracy in college football is such a weapon. And we've seen that with Shedeur. And you see it every week when you go against someone else, how valuable Shedeur's accuracy is. And I think it's absolutely the best thing that Julian brings to the table is ball placement, which is really rare for a player of his age to be talking about this at that type of level.
Yeah.
But on the whole here, man, this is Coach Prime doing it again. He did it with Travis Hunter. He did it with Jordan Seaton. He now has done it with Julian Lewis. He did it with someone else. I forgot what his name was. But he's now done it every single year, man. Every single year he is going to get a program changer.
Yep.
And that's what Julian Lewis is. He is a program changer and a legacy builder, man. And this is a monumental day in Colorado football history.
Any more questions? Any more questions about Deion Sanders' future in Colorado? Because those should be over with.
It's
today.
pretty amazing how he's going to coach Shedeur Sanders with the Cowboys and Julian Lewis at Colorado at the same time.
It's going to be fascinating.
Unprecedented.
Yeah. One-of-one stuff. But no, man, this is well said. Well said, RK. Very articulate, man. Everything was spot on. I mean, this is huge, man. I just want to talk about Juju, the player, first. I mean, you mentioned it. The processor. The absolute accuracy, being able to put the ball wherever he wants is so evident and is so important in today's college football. And it's a perfect fit for this offense, too. Putting the ball in the air a ton under Pat Shurmur. He's going to have a bunch of weapons. He's going to be very much protected by Jordan Seaton and the rest of the crew. This is huge. I mean, this is monumental not only for this program, but for college football as a whole. I mean, Julian Lewis this season in Georgia's highest classification of football. My dog is completing 77% of his passes. 2,800 yards, 40 touchdowns this season to 4 interceptions in a hotbed of elite high school football
7A.
talent. 7A.
Bro, in Colorado, it doesn't even go to 7. No. That ass, it ends at 5A.
Most days don't. And back in April, 24/7's director of scouting, Andrew Evans, wrote about Julian Lewis. Tell me when y'all hear this, who this reminds you of. A de facto point guard on the gridiron that can distribute the football like few others. Won't blow many away with his build, but makes up for his subpar measurables with his ability to scan the field and manipulate defenses with his eyes. Compact releases also from the rip, tight, accurate spirals to all different levels. Might not have a true cannon, but will drop balls over coverage well into the deeper third. Has proven to be really crafty mover, both in and outside the pocket, and will extend plays like a true escape artist. Who does that sound like to y'all?
Shedeur Sanders.
Absolutely.
And
perfect timing.
They told me to bust out my AP.
There's so much to talk about here.
So much.
But when you make that comp and you hear some of those things, I would also encourage you to think about this. Shedeur Sanders has gotten better in every facet of his game every single year.
No doubt.
He's had different offensive coordinators, different quarterbacks coached, different everything, but one thing has been consistent.
Yep.
And that, of course, is Deion Sanders.
Mm-hmm.
Coach Prime. He has made sure that every year Shedeur gets better. He gets stronger. He gets a stronger arm. He gets better legs. He gets better in the pocket. And so the little things that are mentioned there is almost, I don't know if critiques is the right word, but, pros, cons, whatever.
Sure.
All of those things are going to be ironed out.
No doubt.
From right now to the first time Julian Lewis steps on the field as a Colorado Buffalo, he's going to be stronger. He's going to be bigger. He's going to be faster. And so this is, there's certain things you can't teach. And that level of ball placement, I don't really think you can. I don't know how many times we've seen them try. And when I say them, I just mean football coaches. It's like you have this guy, and he's got this cannon arm, and he's got this, he's got that. It's like if he could only be accurate. But no one can ever really teach a guy to be accurate. Meanwhile, Julian Lewis is talking about on the Pat McAfee show this morning how he was reading cover 3 and hitting seam shots when he was 10 years old.
Yep.
And, that's for those of you who don't know, that's the throw that Shedeur made to Draylen Miller the other day. When you see it, you know it. Because it's that perfect layered over the linebacker, inside the safety type of throw that you've got to be special at placing the football to make. And so I'm excited for today, but I'm incredibly excited to see where Julian Lewis goes as a football player who just turned 17.
Yep. I mean, everything you guys just said about the player, but the person that Julian is the perfect fit for Colorado. We keep using the word unflappable.
Yeah.
That's unflappable. What Julian has been able to do, the pressure he's been under since 10 years old, to reclassify, to be younger than the best competition in Georgia, and you're still going out there and dominating. This is a guy who's going to come in. He's going to soak up every ounce of knowledge he can from Coach Prime. He's going to have, of course, access to be able to talk to Shedeur. They're already great friends. Yeah. This is a true continuation of the Coach Prime era in its current form.
Bro, it just occurred to me when he told Pat McAfee that he's going to be an early enrollee, that this man is going to graduate high school in 2.5 years.
Yeah.
Nuts, man.
I barely did it in 4.
You know how smart and disciplined you got to be to do something like that?
Yes.
Disciplined, I think, is the perfect word.
No doubt.
You truly have to lock in. And, I mean, this dude, Pat kept on mentioning over and over again the performance he had, over 500 yards and 5 touchdowns as a true freshman in the 7A state championship game. And I just think that probably from that year on, he just realized, okay, well, this is just I got to just go through the motions and get out of college.
Right.
And so he turned it up to 11 and works his way through. He's going to leave Georgia high school football with over 10,000 passing yards
in just 3 seasons.
3 seasons, man. He's an unbelievable prospect. And you mentioned it a little bit, Jake, but in terms of the fit for Colorado, it just feels like this is all written in the stars already.
Yes.
As we, people have learned throughout the years, Julian Lewis has been working on a documentary about his life with notably former Colorado Buffalo and Colorado Buffalo legend Scotty McKnight. I believe since he was in 8th grade.
Yeah, it's capturing his whole high school career.
Yeah. So, I mean, the ending of that, I can't wait to watch that.
Yeah.
Because that's going to be a beautiful thing. Think about it. When that thing started, I'm pretty sure either Mike McIntyre or Mel Tucker was the coach at Colorado.
Yeah.
Now we're 4 years later, so I guess that would have been Tucker? I don't know. 4 years later, and this guy is going to end up being a Colorado Buffalo. I can't wait to watch that and how that unrolls. But when you talk about cameras, when you talk about attention, when you talk about pressure, I mean, this dude was named a phenom before he entered high school.
Yep.
And he's unflappable for that. So he's a perfect fit to come in here and be the heir to the throne for Shedeur Sanders, because none of this is going to be new to him.
Yeah. Well, not only that, I mean, I think Scott kind of mentioned it. The surrounding cast around him is going to be
nasty.
This team might still be playing at this level next year. If Julian is able to come in as a true freshman and have one of those phenom impacts that we've seen from freshman quarterbacks in college football, this team will be in the same conversations they're in next year right now.
And not to mention what Julian Lewis's commitment to the Colorado Buffaloes will do in terms of recruiting here moving forward.
This is just the start.
That's going to have. I mean, talking about them IMG boys we were talking about yesterday. I mean, I'm sure they probably knew what was going to happen today, but I'm sure their interest is peaked if it wasn't already. I mean, and again, in the transfer portal as well. I mean, you're going to be able to get guys, you know, who want to play with the young talent that is Julian Lewis, that want to play with Deion Sanders, that want to play with the Buffs after seeing what they were able to accomplish this season. So it's up. It's up.
It's way up.
I was talking about this actually just this week on Monday on the All NFL Monday Huddle, and we were talking about Bo Nix and his success. And Jake, I'm sure you'll agree with me on this, but one of the things that I didn't factor in when talking about the potential success of Bo Nix as a rookie quarterback in the NFL was how good the Broncos' offensive line is.
Yes.
I think Bo Nix is like 5th to last or something in the NFL in time it takes to throw. Mm-hmm. But he's not being pressured a lot, which means that he is standing back there in a clean pocket delivering strikes. And I think that's a super underrated part of the situation that Julian Lewis is now coming into at Colorado. This team is going to return damn near every single player who's played on the offensive line for them this year.
Yeah.
And that doesn't even factor in the ability to improve positions through recruiting. You know, you're bringing in Chauncey Gooden, you're bringing in other guys on the line through the transfer portal. Guys are now seeing that you can come to Colorado, become one of the most watched players in the country, and put your film out there for all of the world to see. All of this stuff, just one thing after another, starts to build, and you start to see how Julian Lewis is coming into an incredible situation with a lot of weapons. And then how about this? This is actually something I just thought about for the first time. What's the one thing that you think would really, really help him on the offensive side of the ball that Colorado might not have right now?
A running
game.
If you are an elite running back, why would you not want to come join this? Whether that's an incoming true freshman or again a transfer who's put out a bunch of production. Mm-hmm. I mean, if I'm Pat Shurmur, I'm calling that guy and saying, hey, look, we're going to have a true freshman quarterback next year. He's really talented. I'm really excited about him. But we need you to take the load off of him so we can lean on you and then let him do the easy stuff, which we know he's really, really, really good at. Like you guys said, it's all starting to come together. The dam just broke.
For real.
It did.
And can we just say that we tried to tell y'all. We tried to tell y'all out there for months. And honestly, I want to talk about when I first knew, when I officially knew.
Okay.
Talking to our guy, Philip Dukes, back in May, when I reached out to him and just wanted to talk about recruiting and Juju, and it wasn't Dukes telling me, oh yeah, Juju finna come. It was just him talking to me about the relationship between Julian Lewis's father, T.C. Lewis, and Deion Sanders. Like, they talk about more than football. Like, they're tight. Like, they're boys for real. And T.C. Lewis is enamored with what Deion Sanders has been able to do as a father, as a coach. And, I would assume that TC, wants something similar to unfold from a player coach, from a father-son relationship perspective with, Coach Prime and Julian Lewis. And again, that can't be understated when you send your baby off to college, you know what I'm saying? You want to be confident that where you're sending him to, he's going to be in good hands. Yep. And there's no reason to think that when you send your young man, your son, to Boulder, Colorado to play for Coach Prime in that program, that they're going to be in good hands. And again, that was a big big reason why Julian Lewis is a Buff.
Scotty just nailed it, and kind of going with that, the picture on his second or third visit where it's Coach Prime and TC just talking, looking. They're in the IPF and they're just looking on the practice field. And Julian posts that, and he says something like, "Thank you for always looking out for what's best for me in my future." That was another moment where it's like, people didn't realize maybe nationally and outside in other fan bases then, but if you truly understood this program, you know what these coaches are about, what the players are about, what actually happens over there in Boulder, Colorado. That was a sign right there.
Yeah. I mean, and that goes to something I was talking about actually last night at Friendsgiving with a few people, which is like how fake college football can be.
Yeah.
I mean, it is, you know, I've been around this and close to it for long enough to know that 80, 90, maybe 95% of these coaches are just lying to these kids. And lying and lying and lying just to
Jaden Rashada
cover their own ass, you know? And I think Coach Prime probably keeps it maybe the most real of any coach in America. And so when you've been told all this stuff and sold a bill of goods from so many different places, and then Coach Prime is just talking with your dad, giving it to him real, talking about the opportunity, not making any promises, not saying you can wear this number or you're this, or you know, saying you can compete for a starting job, not we're going to hand it to you. Like, all of that stuff, I just think really, really resonates with real people. And I think from everything we've seen from Juju, he is like that. And that's also a beautiful thing, because then it makes sure that you give it to him real, and then the people that resonate with are the people that you want in the program anyway.
All right, let's take our first break, and then we'll get back to breaking this whole thing down. Still a lot to get to. Shout out to the homies over at Game Time. We're on the road. We're at the Arrowhead Stadium. By the way, we do have a game on Saturday.
For overall?
Yeah. Damn. So if you want to come watch the Buffs take on Kansas and further their path to the Big 12 title game, come hang out with us at Arrowhead.
Advance down the path.
Thank you. And get your tickets over at Game Time. Not just college football, NFL, NBA, NHL. It's one of the best times of the year right now because everything is going crazy, and concerts and events too. Get your tickets over at Game Time. Download the app, create an account, use promo code BUFFS, BUFFS, for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code BUFFS, BUFFS, for $20 off. Download Game Time today. What time is it?
Game time! Also, check out Bet365. Jake, did you make sure you got all your Bet365 locked in?
Yes, I did.
All right.
boy.
Our friends over at Bet365 are the best in the biz, and they also have the best deal in the biz for our listeners and our listeners only. Check it out right now. Use the code DNVR365, and you are going to get $150 in bonus bets when you deposit $10 and bet $5. Deposit $10, bet $5. Use that code DNVR365, and you're going to get $150 in bonus bets to put on anything you want. And I truly wish we could have put it on Julian Lewis to Colorado. I don't know, 5-6 months ago, because probably would have got some good odds.
8 months ago.
Yeah. But you can get on all sorts of great things over there. So remember, use that code DNVR365 to unlock $150 in bonus bets. Of course, you must be 21 and older and physically located in Colorado. Please gamble responsibly. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call or text 1-800-GAMBLER.
Shout out to Select QB, Julian Lewis's quarterback coach, in the comment section.
Hell yeah. What is up, DC? Well, and also shout out to Pastor Smith, who just tweeted this.
Let's go!
This is literally just the picture of me reacting to Travis Hunter's insane catch. Just my jaw completely dropped. That's hilarious.
Oh man, so much to go with this. All that talk about Coach Prime's future. Didn't even have to say anything. Today was his response.
For real.
He's going to coach Julian Lewis at Colorado.
Yeah, and gosh, I wish I could remember who reported this. Apologies in advance to whatever lovely journalist said this. But someone recently said that it was Coach Prime's quote-unquote staying power at Colorado that really finished the job for Julian Lewis coming to Colorado. His staying power. Meaning Coach Prime told Julian Lewis, I ain't going nowhere.
Yep.
And Julian said, all right, bet, I'm
Say
coming.
less. I mean, that's all he needed to hear. Because, again.
For real?
You I forget which one you mentioned it or alluded to it, but I think Julian Lewis is walking into the best situation in college football for a quarterback.
Absolutely.
I mean, this defense, a lot of the guys are returning, and they've been playing lights out. Offensively, again, like we mentioned, he is going to be protected. I mean, even better than Shedeur has been this season. I mean, he's most likely going to have a running game. We know what the receiving core is going to look like, and it's probably even going to improve. And that's the thing, too. Like, there's so many young players on this team that already rock with Juju, like, heavy. Like, the relationship that Draylon and Cam Michael and, you know, again, some of the other guys, like Michael Welch also being a Georgia dog. Like, this team has a very young, exciting core. They already had that last week. But now you add a centerpiece, 5-star quarterback to that mix, and you literally cooking with gas. I mean, it's up. I'm probably going to say that 15 times today, man. It's up.
It is up.
I love it. I want to hear what Unk has to say about this.
No, for real.
I can pop off, or how do we want to do this?
I can swap out.
I'll do it.
Check out Scotty's article over at thednvr.com breaking down this whole thing, too. Everything you need to know about Julian Lewis.
Absolutely.
Colorado recruiting. And Uncle Neely hopping on the mic right now. Unk, while he's getting set up, I'm going to ask him this question. Not even this question. Just 3 words, Unk. Dot.
Well, that's a lot of letters. UNCLE, UNEELY
Oh, God.
at thepregameshow.com. Email me. I'd love to hear from you.
You might not respond, but you know.
I'm going to respond, but ...
Gotcha.
But I love hearing from the people.
Unk, Julian Lewis is a Buff. Just what can you tell us about this whole thing, what this means for the future of the program?
Future is bright. Future is now.
Right
because
now.
whereas we are totally focused on this game against Kansas, you know that there are younger guys on the team that now know I'm staying.
Yeah.
I want to be a part of what's about to happen here. There are guys around the country who were contemplating the portal one way or the other, and now they're looking this way, offense and defense. Mm-hmm. Same thing with high school recruits. So this team, just with this one commit, is poised to be just as good as now or better next year.
Absolutely love it, man. Also, Coach Prime's future. This kind of says something about that, doesn't it?
Yeah, he's going to be here. You know, he's made that pretty damn clear that he wants to be here.
Yes, sir.
And so there's a lot of nuances to it. I think this pick has made Rick George have to pull the calculator out. In the words of Fat Joe, yesterday's price is not today's price.
Hell yeah.
Be a lot of commas.
Because when you have a head coach that not only goes from 4-8 to 8-2 as we sit here, but now gets the number 2 commit in the country to sign with the program, that's somebody you want to lock up for a long time.
Well, and it seems like, going back in his recruitment, Juju has talked a lot about Pat Shurmur and the influence of having that pro style, but also that experience from an offensive coordinator to help learn from. And you've watched Pat Shurmur at practice coaching Shedeur. Could you tell us about exactly what's going to happen with Pat Shurmur and how he's going to coach this guy?
So, shout out to Juju first, because when I heard him mention Pat Shurmur's name, I said, man, how mature is this kid?
Yeah.
For real. To not only be concerned about the head coach and the school itself, but who's going to be teaching me.
Right.
And so you can tell that there have been some conversations there. Just yesterday, I'm in practice talking to Coach Shurmur, and we were talking about media stuff, interviews and that kind of thing. And as you guys know, you don't see Coach Pat on a lot of stuff.
Right.
And he's like, Neely, I got 2 focuses. That is to be there for Coach Prime and to be there for that guy. And he was pointing at Shedeur warming up. And so, if it ain't about that, I ain't got time for it. I'm trying to get that guy to the NFL. Mm-hmm. And so that's the same thing that translates to a Juju's. I'm going to get you there.
Yeah.
Your talent has gotten you here. Now we're going to win games in Colorado. And while we're winning games, there's going to be development to get you to the next level, not just winning here and be done with it. Yeah. And you've seen that happen in college football before, the opposite of it, so to speak. Look at Johnny Football.
Right.
My dog.
I mean, look, how phenomenal was that college career? But the development wasn't there to translate this to the NFL.
Correct.
You know, and so you got to have two tracks in mind when you recruit a kid like this and sign a kid like this. How do I utilize him now to win games, but how do I protect his future and get him ready for the next level at the same time?
I'll take that Johnny Football freshman year though.
For real.
I'll take a lot of Johnny Football.
Yeah, the sophomore year.
You can't argue with the college part of it.
No, you cannot.
You know, but the development wasn't there for the next level.
And how dope you think it is for Shermer too, to be able to bring in a guy who is so mature, like you mentioned. And again, I think stylistically so similar to Shedeur. Like I would think be a challenge to go from Shedeur to somebody who obviously probably isn't going to be as talented right away, but would be a different style of quarterback, maybe a dual threat running quarterback. But because Juju and Shedeur in my eyes are so stylistically similar, I think it's going to make Pat Shermer's job, you know, nurturing him and developing him so much easier over the next couple of years as well.
You know, a lot of folks look at Warren Sapp, Coach Sapp, and this new energy he has. And I think people are asleep on how coaching college ball has reversed the clock and re-energized Pat Shermer.
Yeah.
Right.
Like he loves doing it.
He does.
And he loves touching guys that are the future versus working with, you know, prima donnas on the other side of it. He really enjoys it.
You know, this is now becoming a very, very clear pattern of Coach Prime getting a program-changing recruit on a year-in, year-out basis. I just want to hear your thoughts on why you feel he's able to do this so consistently.
Because he keeps it real. But one thing, here's what I'm interested in before I answer that question directly. Here's a joke. Here's a jab at the haters. I'm interested to see when I wake up tomorrow morning, is Juju still number 2? Because the pattern is when Prime gets you, your number changes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like you come to him number 1, like to the world you're number 1, and then when you sign with him, like, well, he's number 6 in the country now.
Right.
You know, they keep moving the goalpost even on the players. So they did it with Travis, you know, when he came to Jackson State. But I think people recognize the genuineness of Deion Sanders from afar.
Yeah.
And I think when you sit down with him one-on-one as a parent or as a recruit, that you see is not camera magic, that is real. Yeah. And here's what I can guarantee you. I wasn't in on the recruiting meeting with Coach Prime and Juju, but I have been in meetings with him and prospective recruits before. He doesn't promise you anything but hard work and opportunity. Like, he's not guaranteeing you're going to wear a certain number. He's not telling you how much you're going to play. Like, there are no deals being cut because he don't roll that way. And as shocking as that can be to the recruiting community or maybe the student athlete, the parents love it.
Yeah.
You know, the parents get it. Like, no, I want him to work for this. I want him to grow and develop as a person because anything can happen along this path. And so his genuineness and keeping it real, when you're around him and you see that he treats all his players like they're literally his sons. And as Coach Prime said before, if it wasn't for names on the jerseys, you wouldn't know who I was related to because I'm treating them all the same. I think people gravitate toward that. There's a lot of college recruiting that takes place that you can tell the coach or the program that they're recruiting you for them. Like, I need you. You know, this is going to help my career. This is going to help what I'm trying to accomplish at this school. Coach Prime recruits and the manager's like, no, this is for you. Like, this is going to make you better. We're trying to get you somewhere. Yeah. I'm fine. I'm good.
Right.
Like, I got it. Let me help you get it. It's a totally different flip on the narrative.
Sounds just like him. For real.
Been around him.
Yeah.
That was almost a direct quote.
That sounds like literally just like it. And honestly, you know, another point too, when I knew Julian Lewis was going to be a Buff, when his father, T.C. Lewis, said that this Colorado football team was the happiest group of guys he's ever been around, I believe was the correct verbiage that he used. And that can't be understated as well. And Deion Sanders deserves credit for fostering an environment where guys can be happy and still work hard and still be disciplined and dedicated to, their goals and their craft. And again, that's something, you're talking about, parents wanting to hear that the coach isn't going to just hand their son things. I can almost guarantee you TC Lewis is one of those coaches.
Yep.
I don't want you to hand my son nothing.
No.
I don't want you to give my son nothing.
Because I haven't handed him anything.
Exactly.
No team in the country has as much fun as the Colorado Buffaloes under Coach Prime.
No. And it's because of the work they put in to earn the fun.
Yeah.
It's, again, a play on Warren Sapp analogy. You got to earn the right to rush the quarterback, and that starts by the hard work, stopping the run.
Right.
And so it's the same thing with Coach Prime. Like, you'll see in his pregame speeches, hey, we're going to have fun in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Like, we're going to get a couple penalties for a celebration, like fourth quarter. But we're going to earn that first, second, and third quarter.
Yeah.
Then I'm going to turn you loose.
Yeah.
And we're going to have a concert in the locker room. We're going to, like, he puts the carrot on the stick, the fun on the stick, and, like, we're going to get toward it.
Yeah.
But we're not going to have fun day one. Like, we're going to work. But it's a great day to be a Buff, man.
For real,
Fantastic day.
Great day to be a Buff.
You got anything else right now, RK?
It's the voice of God over there off camera.
I'm just, thinking about the future here, and it's crazy to be thinking about the future at a time where the present is so dope as well.
Yeah.
Well said.
But, I mean, Unc, you kind of saw this unroll at Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
And year 3 was their most dominant year. But this is a little different just in the terms of the turnover that's going to happen after this season. I'm just curious kind of your thoughts on the, trajectory and how this thing is going.
I don't know how many Marvel comic nerds we got out there like I am. But I'm reminded in the Endgame movies when Doctor Strange was sitting there playing out the scenarios, and then he finally get the one that he couldn't see, which is the one they won.
Yeah.
What I love about this story, this is my 5th season with Coach Prime, and we're about to all enter a season we've never seen before.
Yeah.
We've never seen him not coach his sons.
Right.
We've never seen him not have Cameron, Silver, and Craig. There's so many nuances that are about to happen. Travis will be gone. And so I think this era of Deion Sanders coaching, his leadership style, and what he's going to do is going to be sobering for everybody, no matter how long you've been with him or how little you've been with him, because we've never seen this before. But what we have seen him do time and time again is win.
Yep.
To take a situation that most people would walk away from and flip it into something that everybody loves. There was not a person who would have believed that Deion Sanders would go coach in the SWAC at the HBCU in Mississippi. And you flip that a year later, Travis Hunter, number 1 recruit in the nation, comes to SWAC at HBCU in Mississippi. 2 years ago, when, what do you call it, let go of hell, RK?
Yes, sir.
When everyone was holding dearly onto hell, who would have thought the number 2 quarterback in the nation, number 2 player in the nation would be coming to Colorado?
Yeah.
But leadership matters, style matters, how people carry themselves matter. When people see Deion Sanders, like he says about himself, he changes the temperature when he walks in the room. He's just a difference maker, and people want to be a part of it. So I'm looking forward to Kansas, Oklahoma State, Big 12 championship. But I'm looking forward to this spring ball.
Yeah, man.
Strength and conditioning, because like Juju said on TV, he'll be here in January.
Yeah.
There's a lot of other folks who will be coming, early as well. And so to see what this new 2025 team is going to be like, can't wait to see it.
I mean, what you just said, that puts even more emphasis on the now.
Oh, my bad.
That puts even more emphasis on the now with this move because, as you said,
hey, you're not on the show, but when you called me, you was on the show. Chris Evans, shout out Memphis, Tennessee.
hey,
I know
shout
you're
out
watching.
Evans.
Bye.
But with Juju enrolling early, the further the Colorado Buffaloes go this season, the more Julian is able to work with Shedeur in the same uniform. Go into meetings with Shedeur Sanders, hang out with him in the locker room, have lunch with him in the dining hall.
Huge.
All this stuff. That is invaluable time for his development.
Wow, I didn't think about that.
I know that there are nuances that make the end of the story different because like Dylan Edwards transferred and Makai has a hamstring issue, but he's back now. But when you look at the success of the guys who got here early,
that's where I was going to go next.
It's unbelievable the difference it makes.
No doubt.
when the upperclassmen start showing up after the spring game for summer conditioning 1, and you got a true freshman that has a 90 days under his belt, he's walking around like the upperclassman. His confidence is there.
Yeah.
And so for Juju to to sit in meetings in January, and to get to, familiar with Coach Mo and the strength and conditioning staff, to be familiar with just the surroundings of Boulder. By the time you get to summer 1, summer 2, you're going to think the guy's been there 2 years.
Yep. All right, let's take our next break, and then we'll get back to everything. We're gonna talk a little bit of Kansas, do some Big 12 picks. This is today's show, by the way, so we will not be live later.
This is not tomorrow's show?
No.
Well, it's not an additional.
Yes, we will not be live at 3 p.m. today. This is the show.
This is today's show.
Shout out to our friends over at Empire today. They redid the floors in our studio, and they look the same as they did the day they came in. We need strong, durable floors at the DNVR bar in the DNVR studio because we can get a little messy from time to time, right? So Empire today took care of us. You can schedule a free in-home consultation with them, home or business, actually. So if you need a new floor, wherever you are, hit up our friends over at Empire today. You know the jingle. Schedule a free in-home estimate today. And all listeners can receive a $350 off discount when they use the promo code DNVR. Restrictions apply. See empiretoday.com/DNVR for details.
Oh, it's on me, even though I don't even get a chair.
Elevation. Do you want to swap?
You want to swap me, bro?
I'll swap.
I'll swap.
No, you're good. You're good.
Elevation's credit.
You could
union.
lay down.
He meant that.
I bet you want to do the ad read laying down.
Shout out Elevations Credit Union, home of the sexiest
He's doing it. He's stretching out.
credit card in world history. Yes, that is the Go Buffs Visa Signature Rewards Card. Can you guys hear me clearly?
Yeah,
Yes.
Absolutely.
All right, cool.
Sound very relaxed.
Only at Elevations Credit Union. Visit buffscreditcard.com to apply and see full card benefits and details. And what you got to know about this is every time you swipe, which if you're anything like my fiance is a lot, you benefit the Colorado Buffaloes. So make sure you get that Go Buffs Visa Signature Reward Card from our friends over at Elevations Credit Union.
So I just saw this in the chat, and maybe you can remind me the rules on. Obviously, Coach can't say anything right now.
Yeah.
Is it until signing day when Juju signs, and then that's when he
Yes.
can actually talk?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it has to be official.
Yeah, so Coach Prime, you're not going to hear anything from Coach Prime about Julian Lewis directly until early national signing day.
Do we
And
get
then the
like
same
a
thing goes for even some of the internal media.
Okay.
Yeah.
What were you going to say, RK?
I was gonna say, did we get like a "God is good" type of tweet or
haven't.
anything?
I think
like
he
that?
posted on IG. I ain't look at the post, but I
Okay.
got a notification.
He when it all happened, he would have been literally on the practice field.
Yeah,
makes
they're
sense.
practicing right now.
Do
I love that. I also love that someone reached out to us and was like, "Wait, you guys are on the bus today? I hope you guys don't miss any breaking news." I was like, "That's the whole point of the bus." Because like, could you imagine if, let's just say we had a 9:30 a.m. flight today? Like,
I know, bro.
Tough.
You'd miss it.
Yeah, that was a part of one of the reasons
I
why
tried
we
to
did
do
this.
the hint, hint, wink, wink with the pregame Instagram post, like, breaking news.
Yeah, you did.
wink. I thought that was kind of like an indication that we're connected.
I like it.
Hey, you know who also deserves some love on a day like today?
Let's hear it.
Corey Phillips.
Shout out to Corey Phillips, Coach Box, Coach Riz, the entire recruiting staff, man. Unbelievable job they've done the last 2 seasons.
100%. I mean, and yeah, just landing a big fish like this. I mean, whenever I seen Julian Lewis at a Colorado football game, he was attached at the
Corey.
hip to Corey Phillips. And I'm sure he was crucial, monumental to Julian Lewis being a Buff. So shout out to Corey Phillips, Director of Player Personnel, and the rest of the Buffs recruiting staff, man. They did a big one with this one.
Yep.
Coach Prime did not post any like low-key thing about Julian Lewis. He just posted about playing cornhole with Carrot Top.
Classic. Just classic.
He said, "Great job, Carrot Top. I really appreciate the passion and the crowds you bring to the game, but it is what it is. Prime corn is what they're calling me."
Carrot Top. Shout out to Carrot Top and Menace to Society.
Yes, not the actual Carrot Top, by the way.
No.
Oh, no, the guy in the creative team, right?
Yep.
Or something.
In the film
Yeah.
video department with Campo. Shout out Campo.
Anything else on Julian, or shall we kind of transition to Kansas a bit here? Practice, picks.
Great day to be above.
Damn straight. All right. Unc,
I'll come back in.
Want to give me?
Sure.
what can you tell us about practice this week. What'd you learn? How's the team looking and feeling locked in terms of this Kansas game on Saturday? Be careful with that headset, please.
That was an excellent handoff. It went right to the line. One of the things I've been impressed with last week's practice and this week's team meeting and practice was this team's ability. Coach Prime's post this morning was about noise.
Yeah.
Blocking out noise.
Yeah, his Twitter post, right?
And so for this team to know what everybody else knows, that if we win out, we're going to Dallas December 7th for the Big 12 championship, they don't look past the current situation.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't take the current situation's record to heart. If you look on paper, the last 3 games of the season back in August, they were preseason, top 20. Now when you get into the season, they're games we're supposed to win. We're finally having games we're favored in.
Yep.
They're treating it like we're the underdogs. So they're focused and locked in, and I love that part because they're not taking this for granted and looking too far ahead, and then you get caught slipping.
Yep.
How do the coaches do that? I just feel like that would be such an insane challenge.
It is, man. Great question. And here's what I think the advantage is for our staff is that we have so many NFL mindsets that they have totally preached, not CFP college football playoffs. This is like the NFL playoffs. If you want the next game to matter, we're going to play the next game no matter what happens. But if you want it to matter, you got to win this one.
Yep.
So it's 1 week at a time, and we're advancing. And so the Big 12 championship would be like the Super Bowl in this analogy. Like you got to get there to get there.
Right.
And so it doesn't matter if you got 1 out of 3 or 2 out of 3. You got to get 3 out of 3.
Yeah.
And so I think that experience from the coaching staff has helped that.
It's got to be a big challenge, but also I think there's got to be something to be said about the leadership on this team. I think it's rare to have as many really good leaders as this team has.
Yeah.
And there's just no way Shedeur is letting that happen in the rooms that he's talking with. There's no way that Travis Hunter is letting that happen. There's no damn way that Cam Silman-Craig is letting that happen in his room. So you combine that elite leadership from the coaching staff with the elite leadership on the team, and first of all, it's the reason why we're in this situation in the first place.
Right.
But also is the reason why I'm so confident in this team to not start thinking about December 7th on November 21st.
Yeah. The motto has been, we didn't come this far to go this far.
Yeah.
Like we didn't do all the work, just to have the last 2 games matter. We did all this work to be in the Big 12 championship, so don't let up now.
Yep.
Let up December 8th. Don't let up on the way to December 7th.
Scotty, you can put that headset on if you want, bro.
Unless it just muted.
Scotty left his brush up there by me.
Uh-huh.
And I was just trying to think of all the places I could hide it from him.
Hey, I appreciate you not doing that.
And I was like, where can I put it that I could really act like I don't know where it is, but he also can't find it. And so I'm looking at all the cabinets. I said, no, he's going to open the cabinets. So I looked at the TV, and it's like, shit, I can't move the TV. And then I looked at Kenny Highway's little ice chest. And I was like, he'll never look in there.
Because you would have really had the clues. I don't know. I didn't see it.
I didn't see it. Right. Because I didn't know it was there. I looked down to get my phone. I said, oh, man, this is brush. And I went, his brush.
See,
I should do something with this.
it would have been really easy to figure out who did that, though.
Oh, for sure.
That's true. Because I know they weren't going to tell you.
Exactly. That's the thing. Is because Scott would have come back here and been like, all right, who hid my brush, man? And I would be like, you really think we would have done that?
You're right.
So here's the deal. Because I walked through these scenarios. I said, all right, he's going to know it's me. Now what I should do is make it obvious to me and leave a note, like a ransom note.
Oh, yeah.
Like if I don't get a shareable size of M&Ms at our next Circle K stop, you will never see your brush again.
I'm dead.
And then leave a strand of the hair like to prove of life that I have it.
Need my brush, man. That's my bad.
We'll get to injuries. Do you have a question for Unc Scotty on practice and just going into Kansas?
Yes. I hope you guys didn't exit because obviously I was off the headset for a couple of minutes.
Looking for his brush.
Yes.
How is my boy 2-9 looking this week? Michael
Look
Walsh.
good, man. Let me tell you this. Been nursing the hamstring injury.
Right.
Got cleared to practice a little bit last week and then got pulled back at the last minute, which kind of, tore his psyche some. Went back into this week, cleared for individual and practice. And there was a run he did where for practice purposes, like you could have stopped after 10 yards.
Sure.
He got to about 12 yards, like looked back at the coaches and like accelerated full speed all the way to the end zone. Like
I'm ready.
Yeah.
So I like that he's back. I like the swag. When he came back from that run, he kind of jogged over where I was standing, and I was watching him come at me. I said, Michael, let me ask you something. Do you ever look in the mirror in the morning and say, damn, I wouldn't want to tackle me either? He said, all the time.
I love that.
Man, and I love that you just said that part too, because I've been waiting to post it, but if y'all haven't already, go check out our 21 questions with special teams demon Ben Finisat.
Yes, sir.
And I asked Ben, I'm like, Ben, who is somebody on the team that's a dog that maybe the outside world don't know a dog just yet? And he said Michael Welch.
Absolutely.
He said, I hate tackling him. All of our DBs hate tackling him. His build, his combination of power and speed makes him, in my opinion, I know it's early, he's still a freshman, only played a few games, but I think he's the most talented running back on this roster.
Absolutely.
Isaiah Gustav has done his thing over the last few weeks. Dallin Hayden has had moments, but I think that's why I asked you about Michael Welch, because I think his return this weekend is going to be huge, and I'm really excited to see him.
And he is naturally low to the ground.
For real.
Yep.
Anyway, then you add his running style and the coaching of Coach Flea, he gets even lower.
Yeah.
And he's massive.
Yeah.
You don't want to hit him. Like, you're going to bounce off.
And you almost think about it like just the same way that a defense approaches an offense, right? It's easier to stop an offense if you can make them one-dimensional.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's easier to tackle a running back if you can make them one-dimensional. But when you have all of the tools he has, which is power, speed, he's pretty darn shifty.
Yeah.
Yes, he is.
It makes it really hard. As a defender, you almost have to stop and slow down, and you're chopping your feet just trying to figure out what he's going to do. And that gives him enough time to just get out of there. And so, I remember Shiloh talking about, and I think it was in a well-off video, and Bucky had cut out who he's talking about, but it was during fall camp, and they were talking about who's hardest to tackle, who's easiest to tackle. And he's like, well, this guy, he's just speed. So I know as long as I just cut off his angle, I can tackle him. Whereas, he actually, in that video, because then he didn't cut out this part, he said Charlie was hard because you just don't know what he's going to do, where he's going to go. He's like, he's not the fastest guy, but he's picking spots and picking lanes, and it's just like, that's the thing with Micah, is he's bringing a lot of options to the table when you see him in the hole.
Coach said Jimmy and someone else have to go on Friday before he knows if they'll play. I can't remember who the other person was.
He essentially, and you probably know more about this, but he essentially said, Jimmy's playing.
Yeah.
Because we need the threat of Jimmy on the field.
Right.
Well, with an asterisk to that, Jimmy's playing if he can even just remotely participate Friday.
Yeah.
And of course, we're not there. We're not there now. It's Thursday, so same thing I would say with Shane Coates. Shane was cleared today to participate in the individual D-line drills, which is the next step to full practice. So if he can practice tomorrow, I would expect him to play as well. But if Jimmy can just do anything, he'll make the trip.
Love it.
Have these fellas asked you about Preston yet, Unc?
No. Preston did not participate at all this week. He has been at practice, dressed with the team, but whatever the knee issue is, it doesn't look surgical because there's no sense of urgency. Right. He's had a little, not a brace on it, but a sleeve.
Gotcha.
And then just riding the bike, keeping it loose. But he doesn't walk with a noticeable limp or move like he's in pain. So I don't know the details of the situation. But because of Sunday through Wednesday, he was on the bike, my assumption is he's not playing.
Cool. Anything else from practice, guys? All right, we'll talk more tomorrow. Of course, pregame show tomorrow. Let's take our final break, and then we will get to our Big 12 picks for Week 13 of college football.
Man,
we got to talk a little bit about Kansas, too.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Shout out to our new homies, my longtime homies over at Live Well.
They're new, but they're long-term.
Oh, yeah. We go way back.
Back to the sleep days.
Back to when I was straight up a nobody.
You were never a nobody, bro. You always had it in you.
Live Well strives to make cannabis accessible to all because they believe everyone deserves to live well. They've got 25 convenient Colorado locations with a premium selection and expert service that awaits you. They also offer a price match guarantee, ensuring you get the best value by matching local competitors' prices on eligible products. Visit livewell.com today to reserve your products online for a quick in-store pickup. And that stuff is actually lightning quick. Put the order in, pull up, you're in and out a matter of minutes.
Sheesh, love to see that.
Or you can simply stop by. They can't wait to answer all your questions about cannabis. Mention code DNVR25 when you're in store, and you'll receive 25% off one regular priced item. Some restrictions apply, but shout out to Live Well, the absolute homies.
Shout out to them. Also, shout out to our friends over at Saturday Neon.
Yeah.
You guys know the vibes.
Our girl Spirit.
Our girl Spirit on the bus with us. And Spirit,
She's got a friend.
yes, she had babies.
Oh, really?
Yes. She gave birth to a smaller
Wow.
neon sign. And
Congrats, Scotty.
wow.
Papa Scotty.
And this thing is sweet too. Perfect for office. You guys will get a look at it very, very soon. We just couldn't put it behind us because it's very bright. So when you are looking to add a little CU Buff swag, and you want a smaller sign, because this one used to be the smallest. Now they got one even smaller, and you can of course go way bigger than that, like the ones we have in the bar. But we love our friends over at Saturday Neon, and these signs are beautiful. They're strong. The one that we originally had that's now up in the bar once fell, survived perfectly. Durable. So go over to SaturdayNeon.com and use the code DNVR for 10% off your order at SaturdayNeon.com. Were you there for that?
No, I don't think so.
I think it was actually me, Henry, and Dev on a bus show, and we had just gotten this thing. We put it up behind us in Studio A, and of course, in true DNVR fashion, it was just put up in like the jankiest way possible. And in the middle of the show, the first show we have a Saturday Neon read, it just starts falling down, and somehow Dev, behind his head, catches it and saves it, and then it like kind of falls to the ground, but doesn't fall completely. But yeah, that was a...
Dev knows ball. Dev, he's just got a sixth sense for life.
It's true.
Spidey sense. Tingling.
Shout out Dev, man. All right, talking Kansas?
Yeah, let's get a little Kansas in.
Let's talk Kansas. RK's got notes. Uncle Neely, did you bring notes this week?
I always have notes.
He always has notes. We know, this team's red hot, man. Two big wins recently, won 3 of their last 4. They have a very dynamic backfield in Jalen Daniels and Devin Neal. Very, very shifty. Jalen Daniels, he's kind of the engine for this team. As he goes, they go.
All right.
And he's really turned it around recently. He was plagued by turnovers earlier in the season. He's sharpened it up. He's been using his legs. He just looks healthy. Not quite the player that we saw 2 years ago, but he's been balling. So they have a great backfield. They have some receivers out there that can make some noise too. And then this secondary, that's the other part of this team that really stands out when you watch them. Kobe Bryant, and then Scotty's boy. Who's the other corner, Scotty?
Mello Dotson.
Mello Dotson.
Both with draft grades. Both, I think, 9 interceptions between them. They're ballers, man. Let me tell you this. Now, I ain't Shedeur. I'm just a guy with a controller. But I always play who we're going to play in real life.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, man, those jokers picked me off 5 times.
Oh,
shoot.
Yeah.
Hey, you know I hit the reset button, so I be damned. But they got a great defense, and I would say this to the audience out there, because you get to this part of the season and people tend to look at records. These guys are us last year. The game is going to be at Arrowhead, but it's really going to be at the corner. Mess around and find out. They got a lot of losses. Not by less than 7 points, by like less than 5 and 4 points. Like, they have been in games. Yeah. This is a damn good team that you can't sleep on or take for granted. You can't just look at that 4 and 6 and be like, we got this. They're well coached. Yep. They have some good things that they do schematically to test your eye discipline. It's going to be a great matchup on both sides of the ball. Here's my key to it. Other than Scotty, those standard takeaway kind of things. Third down. Our scoreboard has been dominant since we came off of Kansas State. I think Kansas State, we scored 28, they scored 31. Since that time, we've scored 34 or more. And so we look good on the scoreboard. Yeah. But situationally on offense and defense, we've been doing pretty bad on third down, and Kansas does very well on third down. This is the game we got to clean that up. Not only be more like them, we got to make them be more like we used to be before this game. Yeah. Third downs, watch third downs.
Third down is absolutely key. That's a really good piece. And obviously, Colorado has one of the best red zone defenses in the conference, but offensively, 5 of 24 on third down over the last 2 weeks. 5 of 24. Now, like you mentioned, they've been able to still score points pretty much at ease. But
before that, they were really good on third down.
No doubt, right. But like, over the last 2 weeks, it's been a bit of an issue, and that's not something that you would like to see continue into this week. And also, I would add to that, red zone is going to be very important. I believe Kansas is one of, if not the best red zone offense in the country. Like, as soon as they get in the scoring zone, they're punching in and not field goals. They're touchdowns.
That backfield.
Exactly, whether it be, Daniels or Neal. So, and obviously, again, Colorado's defense, red zone-wise, is one of the best in the conference. But on the other side, Colorado, when they get in scoring zone, it's going to have to be 6. It can't be 3. It can't be multiple of 3s. That's going to be very something to watch as well. Third down, red zone, no doubt.
Can I say that football? I just want to see if it makes me no ball more.
It helped me with that third down shit.
Dude, your brain is growing.
That's crazy. I want to start with Kobe Bryant because he's been talking a little bit this week.
Just a little.
And saying he's had this thing circled and this, that, and the other. And I'll take a page out of Travis's book as to what he said on his stream last night. If you want to talk, play man. Play man. Don't have the double team. Don't have the help over the top. Let's play man. Those two guys are...
And this is Kobe, right?
Yes.
I'm reminded of another Kobe who waved off a pick.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's see it.
Yeah, go man.
Let's see if you got that Mamba mentality. He is good, man, and their secondary is very good for a college secondary. This team, though, and I think going to your point about the red zone offense, they have a very good run blocking offensive line.
Yes, they do.
And they kind of don't take advantage of that enough. I feel like they force the pass more than they should, given the fact that they do have Neal in the backfield, they do have Daniels in the backfield, and they have a very good run blocking offensive line. It's a very familiar story for Colorado.
Yeah.
Stop the run, put them in a bad position, get them to throw the ball, and win.
The other thing with Colorado, and they've done pretty well at this all year, you got to limit turnovers against this team. That's exactly how they beat BYU. They got 2 turnovers, and those 2 turnovers flipped the game. One was an interception right before halftime where BYU's on inside the 10 or something. Retzloff throws a fade, and it's just picked off. That's points off the board. And then BYU fumbled a punt on the 3-yard line that Kansas punched in the next play.
Yep. The other thing about Jaden Daniels and kind of the Jekyll and Hyde... Gosh, that's hard.
Hold the ball with both hands.
Sorry. Jalen Daniels and the Jekyll and Hyde season that he's had, it really, to me, comes down to whether he's pressured or not.
Yeah.
When he is under pressure, he kind of gets wild with it and is willing to take risks that he probably shouldn't take. And that should play into Colorado's hand.
Yep.
Again, Warren Sapp talks about it all the time. Earn the right to rush. Earn the right to rush. That's what they've done such an incredible job. That is why they lead the Big 12 in sacks, because every single week they go out there and they earn the right to rush the passer.
Exactly.
And so if Colorado can get in a situation where they are stopping the run on 1st and 2nd down, putting them in 2nd and 8, 2nd and 7, 3rd and 8, 3rd and 7, 3rd and 6 even, what you're going to do is be able to pin your ears back and get pressure on Jalen Daniels, and he will give you the ball. And if Colorado wins the turnover battle in this game, I think they're going to win and win easily.
Hell yeah.
I love what you just said about the third down, the yardage you mentioned, because when I'm talking about third down, it's 3rd and 6 and less that we are who they want to be like.
Right.
And that distance matters. You mentioned Sapp. If you've never watched Wednesdays with Warren before, go watch last night, because it was damn near bulletin board material for them. Like, he went in. He went in on this pipsqueak quarterback, as he called it, and what we're going to do to him.
He went in. I saw a clip. Somebody clipped it. It was like Warren Sapp got a message for Jalen Daniels.
I'm sitting there looking like, Coach, let's cafeteria. We had lunch today. I'm trying to No, he went in.
Hey, but no.
You know what, though? Like, when I go out to the bars with my friend Tyler Ziskin, I say whatever I want to anyone because he's 6'8".
Yeah.
And no one's gonna try me. So you only talk like that when you trust the people that you're talking about.
Absolutely. Here's a little nuance to this game that we are aware of. Before. Y'all remember at Arizona, I talked to y'all about how we got delayed about 8 minutes before we came out, and I think that kind of threw the timing off. This is their senior night, and we have been made aware in advance that we got to stay in the locker room 5 to 8 minutes longer.
All right.
So we're shifting the pregame speeches and all that kind of thing to make sure the energy is right when we walk out instead of just getting up high and then standing around 10 minutes.
Let's set it off 2 more times.
That's just preparation for the Big 12 title game and the potential CFP games when you have to sit in there for a halftime show.
True. Absolutely. For when Neo is performing at the halftime of the Big 12 championship.
All right.
See, actually? Is that
Yeah. You didn't see that?
I did not see
I'm
that.
so sick of you not knowing what's going on.
Chill out.
What are you doing, bro?
Someone has to see the Crocs.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
All right.
Thanks for my Crocs. They're up front. I'm barefoot right now, but I love them. Shout out to Crocs.
Picks.
Let's do it.
We got to do super chats too, so.
I mean, it was always gonna be a long show.
Of course. All right. The entire conference is playing this weekend. We got 8 games. Some very big games, some very meaningful games, some not so meaningful games.
Yeah, somebody still has a bye week left by now, and something's wrong.
Yeah, for real.
It's on. First game. The Arizona Wildcats traveling to Fort Worth to take on TCU.
Scotty?
The line is 11.5 Horned Frogs.
I like putting on Scotty first. Pressure.
Say the line again?
11.5 for the Horned Frogs at home against Arizona.
Yeah, I really like Arizona to cover in this one. It wouldn't be surprising if they won, but I like them to cover. 11 is way too much. TCU's defense is not very good, to say the least. I think Arizona kind of got maybe back on track a little bit. I'll take the Wildcats.
I agree. It's too many points. I'm taking Arizona.
Give me like a old school, not that old when the Big 12 used to run the ball, but like the 2010s old school Big 12 shootout.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like 52-51 TCU.
Yeah.
I like that.
So you're taking Arizona?
I am taking Arizona cover, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Arizona to cover. That 11 is a bit much.
Big game in this conference. BYU traveling to Tempe to take on Arizona State. The Colorado Buffaloes need BYU and Utah to win. If they beat Kansas, they have clinched a spot in the Big 12 title game. BYU, of course, coming off a loss to Kansas, traveling to a good college environment.
What can be a good college environment when they're winning, and guess what?
Yeah.
They are.
They are. They're rolling, and they're 3-point favorites at home to the number 14 BYU Cougars?
Yep. Give me BYU here. I think that the ASU hype train's just gotten a little bit out of control. And I think they have some good players, man, and I think they're going to stay in this game and make some plays. But I don't think they've played anyone quite like the caliber of BYU this year, and I don't know just how much those guys will stand out against this team. So give me BYU.
You know, the crazy thing about right now, last weekend, this weekend in the conference, mathematically there's still a lot of people in it should dominoes fall a certain way. I don't see BYU playing in that and losing 2 in a row, so give me BYU.
I will take Arizona State. They're hot right now.
Oh.
I think they've got better players,
Let them hold
better
the ball.
impact players.
You sure still?
Yeah, and
Okay.
Kenny Dillingham is he's not Coach Prime, but he's got that program taking off and going crazy way faster than anyone thought.
Yeah, as I said in our company Slack this week, Kenny Dillingham is the best coach in the country who is also the president of the local Kappa Sigma fraternity.
I really don't know where I'm going with on this one. I'm not gonna lie. What's the line?
3.
Arizona State. Wow, that's gonna be a really good game. I'm really pressed that it's on this the same time as the CU game. But I think if it comes down to it, I think Levitt's the one who would make a play over Retzlaff.
Yep.
I'll go with the Sand Doubles.
Hell yeah.
See, I feel the opposite of that. I feel if it comes down to it, Retzlaff's the one who will make the play.
Nah.
I get why you say that because
Yeah.
he's done it
He's
multiple
done-
times
yeah.
this year. But
All right.
UCF.
I like this. We should put a little like 2-on-2 wager on this one.
Get the ball back.
No, it's mine now. UCF traveling to West Virginia, 2 teams that will run the hell out of the football. The Golden Knights are 3-point favorites on the road.
UCF, West Virginia, right?
Mm-hmm.
Bryce is on here, and I told Bryce earlier this season that I would never trust West Virginia again to take care of business. But I also don't trust UCF. Give me West Virginia.
I'll take UCF.
I'll take the Mountaineers.
Well, we just flipped it all around this time because I'm going UCF with Jake. He's holding the ball.
All right, yes.
And not only am I going UCF, they're going to win with the ball last team with the ball wins.
That'll be fun.
Texas Tech traveling to Oklahoma State. The Red Raiders are 3.5-point favorites.
Ooh, why is that so close?
Because they get to bring the tortillas.
I mean, Oklahoma State's had their moments. They haven't. They still haven't won a conference game.
I don't think so.
No.
So, but they've had some very, very close instances.
So they're all
Line
right.
makes sense to me.
Line does not make sense to me. Give me Texas Tech by 2 scores.
I'm going Texas Tech as well.
I'll take Tech, but I could see this game being a one-possession game.
We're a clean sweep.
All right.
We're all on Texas Tech.
The Baylor Bears, a team that is a lot better than many other people thought coming into this season. They're traveling on the road to take on Houston, a Houston team that can be frisky at times, but ultimately is just not there yet. Willie Fritz, I think, will get it rolling at some point, but it's not happening this year. The Baylor Bears are 7.5-point favorites in Houston.
I'm going with that. I'm going with the Baylor Bears, man. Houston is just inept in a lot of categories, and I don't think at this point in the season they have any motivation to really turn it around. I think guys are dialed out now.
All right, so Texas Tech, Oklahoma State was a 3.5-point spread.
Yep.
This is an 8-point spread.
7.5.
Okay, calling my shot here.
Okay.
Baylor Houston is closer than Texas Tech, Oklahoma State. Give me Houston to cover and lose.
Wow. I'm taking Baylor. Sawyer Robinson's been balling.
He really has, but the numbers are insane.
I like Houston. I love Sawyer Robertson, but in-state, I don't want to call it a rivalry, but an in-state game.
Yeah.
I mean, Houston beat Kansas State earlier this year, so they can play up a level. I like the Cougars at home.
Sawyer Robertson, 20 touchdowns to 4 interceptions.
Yeah, he's been
That's
balling.
total or passing?
That is passing. He also has 4 rushing touchdowns.
Yeah.
Shout out to Houston, home college of our wide receiver coach Jason Phillips, where he was All-American, set the record for receptions 2 seasons in a row, and
He coached there too.
propelled his quarterback to the Heisman Trophy, Andre Ware. Shout out to Houston and Jason Phillips, who I don't think get enough credit for managing that wide receiver room.
Yeah.
I agree. A lot of guys in there who need the football.
Yeah.
Iowa State hits the road. This is another big one, especially for Steve's Big 12 title game hopes. They are traveling to Utah. Again, the Buffs need Utah and BYU to win, along with the Colorado win on Saturday, and they get a spot in the Big 12 title game. The line is 7.5 for Iowa State on the road. Utah's been a tough place to play. Isaac Wilson, again, he's progressing.
No, he is. I don't know if you heard it on the Monday show, Scott, but I said when I rewatched it, I was more impressed with Isaac Wilson than I was watching it.
Because you gave him a helmet sticker, one of our helmet stickers.
Yeah.
He did.
It was all a bit. It was all a
I
bit.
was like, what an asshole.
Yeah, that is what I am. I've never denied that. So yeah, it's he's been a lot better, and I think that because of that, and because Iowa State is spiraling like a cyclone, I will take Utah to cover the spread.
I'm taking Utah just because the same reason I said about BYU. I don't see them losing 2 in a row, with all this at stake in the season. So Utah came to Folsom, left with an L. I think they're going to rally around and get this one.
A lot of schools here playing to stay alive in bowl eligibility. Utah playing to stay alive for bowl eligibility. Houston playing to stay alive for bowl eligibility. UCF playing to stay alive for bowl eligibility. And, of course, Kansas as well. Arizona playing to stay alive. Wow, half the conference is playing for their bowl eligibility lives.
What's TCU
Can't
at?
relate.
6-4.
Oh, okay.
Cannot relate. Haven't been able to relate for weeks.
Cincinnati. This is going to be a great game, too. Cincinnati hitting the road to take on Kansas State in Manhattan. Cincinnati, another team. Tougher than I think a lot of people would have given them credit for coming into this season. They're just a well-rounded football team. We saw that in person. K-State is K-State, though. They have stumbled lately, but they are one of the most talented teams in the conference, and they're favored by 8.5 at home.
I'm going with K-State, man. It's quick and simple.
This is tough for me, but since they're at home, I'll take Kansas State.
This line is slightly too much for me. I'm taking Cincinnati.
I'm going with K-State, and I honestly can't believe that they fell out of the rankings even after the loss here recently. I think that's a bit disrespectful.
I mean, the whole league got disrespected.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's true.
Alrighty. Colorado. Going to Kansas City to take on the Kansas Jayhawks. The line is -3 for the Buffs.
Give me Colorado, and give me Colorado to win this game 31-21.
All right.
That's 10, right?
Sure is.
10.
Yeah, I typically go 17 in these. You know, I like my Buffs by 17. I'm going to go 14 on this one.
Okay. You going to put a score on it? 34-20?
Give me 35-21.
Okay.
I was going to say 35-20 Colorado wins.
We're right there together, Jake.
Yep.
I like Colorado to win 31-13.
Oof.
Nice.
Let's go. I like yours the best.
There you go. Big 12 picks for Week 13. Can't believe we're in Week 13, honestly. Makes me
Wild.
sad.
It makes me
for real.
sad, but also this has been a pretty epic
It's been an unbelievable season.
And like the double bye week, whoever
Yeah.
I need to talk to get that permanently installed,
Yeah.
it makes the season feel so much longer.
Yeah.
And I really appreciate that because I look forward to the whole year for college football season, and then it's gone 13 weeks later.
I know.
The beautiful thing about this season, though, is even though it's almost done from a regular season perspective, we may just be getting started.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Alyssa, do you want to send me... oh, you did. Sweet. All right, let's get to Super Chats.
She has pink Crocs.
She does.
She
With
does.
fleece on the inside.
she got the most lit Crocs.
Especially because it's kind of chilly in here.
Yep.
What are we doing right now? Does anyone know?
We are at a rest stop.
Okay.
And we should work through these Super Chats so that we can
Actually,
take advantage of
actually
this
read-
opportunity.
I don't think that's happening, but we can try.
Oh,
You
wow.
got some solids?
Bro, we don't have time for this. We got to go. We got a lot of Super Chats.
Time for what?
Solids.
Time for nonsense.
That's
I'm
all
being
this is.
sincere,
All right.
like, you know.
Here we go. Please don't go too long on these. The Cape Crusader, $10 Super Chat. Be prepared for the floodgates and flips. Bold predictions. That O lineman from IMG at Alabama flips. Carde Smith commits. NOB commits. This is what the college football world feared with Coach Prime.
And it has never been more clear to me that is why everyone is trying to tear him down or
course.
send him somewhere else or do this, is because they knew that this was on the table.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. I got a question. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't mean to get us off kilter, but weren't we supposed to do receipts? Juju.
Oh!
We were supposed to do Juju receipts, weren't we?
We can do it tomorrow.
I bet.
We'll
No, rest stop. Remember, we got to go.
we're moving
we
now.
out.
We missed the opportunity.
Now we might as well just let it roll.
I mean, yeah. Next is from Travis. $5 Super Chat. I'll be going to see Juju and Carrollton play tomorrow in my CU gear. Quiet that noise that he, Coach Prime, can't recruit high school. We did it, fellas. Yes, sir.
Hell yeah. I'm just going to read this one because we do need a receipt.
Oh, we're not moving.
Oh, I guess not. All right. This one comes from Big Red Football. No idea who they're a fan of. It says, the only way Juju goes to Colorado is if he doesn't give a shit about his football career, education, future, character development, likes egotistical coaches, likes rap music from players that will cause permanent hearing loss, and wants to play for a terrible fan base.
Well, good. He checked all those boxes.
I guess that's what he wanted.
Clown.
Clown shit.
Goofball.
Mr. Hillsman with the Super Chat. I said I thought it was a marketing plan having all this talk about Coach Prime leaving, and then all of a sudden Juju commits. Coach Prime and his team are undefeated. I don't know if that was all on their team, but it's a great response to the...
A phrase comes to mind. Perfect timing.
They told me bust out my AP. East Coast Kev, shout out to my guy. I'm glad Juju committed. I'm not trying to be negative. You know I ride with you in the Buffs, but I'll wait until he signs on the dotted line. Kev, let go of hell.
Amen.
Mark Gwynn says, Arcade, bro, where did you get that Travis Heisman Post t-shirt with the stars? You wore it versus Texas Tech. That's Travis'
Everyone's
shirt.
always trying to steal my swag. No, it is not.
Oh, it's not?
No. But I gave the link to my dad, so I guess I can give it to anyone. It's called Game Changers is the company. So look it up. I think it's like gamechangers.la or something like that.
Mr. Hillsman says, again, On 3 in particular, but also others like them don't realize how much they discredit themselves with all the extra eyes Coach Prime puts on their rank system. Fair point. Absolutely. Spencer Smith with the Super Chat, $20 Super Chat. Hashtag Sco Buffs. Can't wait for the game tomorrow. Just brought some new Buffs gear. Juju is a huge get. Watch the floodgates open. Coach Prime told us this was going to happen. You better get me now. Don't let me get comfortable. Straight up.
Got
He
his
really
kickstand
told
down.
folks.
Kickstands down. Spencer Smith again says, I meant Saturday, Buffs fam. Hashtag Sco Buffs. We know what you meant. Appreciate you, brother. Laura Levy, the GOAT,
What up, Laura?
with a $100 super chat.
Damn.
Says, let's go Buffs with 18 exclamation marks. We got him. Now it's time to get out the popcorn and the Coors Light and watch the dominoes fall. Hashtag high five. Hashtag we got Juju.
I damn near opened a Coors Light at 10:10 a.m. this morning. Coors Light. Sorry.
I mean, we're just riding for the next however long. So.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
Patrick Williams with the super chat. Just curious if you think the other QBs will hit the portal. Well, they're already backing up now.
The other QBs on our team? Well, I don't understand the question.
Yeah.
That kind of thing is inevitable. You know, next.
You guys are trying to get me to say something that I shouldn't say.
Dominique Ponder just, reposted Julian's, commitment saying, like,
There you
congrats,
go.
brother, like, let's work.
That's
So,
awesome, man. I love that.
dope.
Infiltrator NY said, oh, just kidding. Thank you for the super chat.
Okay.
Wendell Powers with the super chat says, now maybe people will stop asking if Coach Prime is going to the NFL. He's not going anywhere. People need to listen.
I watched a whole segment, and boy, do I wish I had these 14 minutes and 38 seconds back. But I watched a whole segment yesterday on a national TV show where they talked about all of the places Coach Prime could be next year, and I swear to you, not once did they even consider the possibility that he could stay at Colorado.
Clowns. Trevis with another super chat. I've told folks, why would Coach Prime go to the SEC when he can remain at CU, bring SEC talent to the program, run the Big 12, and have an easier path to CFP each season? We're all smiling like cash today. Straight up.
I love Cash.
DJ says, Unk, on 3 drop Juju to a 4-star. They on that BS. Yes,
Told
they
you it
are.
was coming.
I joked before the show. I said we're going to see a graphic that says, like, unranked quarterback Julian Lewis
Absolutely.
commits to Colorado.
Yep. Wendell Powers with the $20 super chat says, I've been following Prime since Pee Wee football. Of course I watch him as a player, but people aren't listening to what he's been saying from the giddy up. He don't want to keep moving. He's building something in Colorado.
Amen.
Facts. East Coast Kev again says, as I said would happen, other schools may be following the Prime effect. There's news circulating that FAU is considering Ray Lewis as their head coach. He may not be Prime, but he's marketable. FAU came out and said that is not actually what is going on. But obviously, Ray Lewis wants to coach. Ray Lewis at CU, Unc?
I mean, it could happen. They have a very close relationship. Ray Lewis wants to coach. Ed Reed wants to coach. I'm sure they want to be, head coaches. But they also have a lot to offer should no one pick them up for a head coach,
Oh, man. If we could just replicate the sap in the D-line room
just
in all of the rooms.
Not to slow down Jake and the Reeds, but just think last home game. T.O., Michael Irvin, Warren Sapp, Deion Sanders, Charles Haley.
Crazy.
Other than Canton,
Unbelievable.
Ohio, where have those 5 people been together at the same time?
Yeah, for real.
And they're standing on Folsom Field, 4 of the 5 coaching.
Unbelievable. What a time to be alive.
Danielle with the $20 super chat. No question. Just props to you all for consistently holding it down for Buff Nation. Love from Virginia. Sco Buffs. Appreciate you, Danielle.
Virginia's for lovers.
Day tripping
That's their motto.
They say, yeah.
with the $20 super chat. Cam Michael has been in the trenches as a player-to-player recruiter. All flowers to him and can't wait for next season. Yeah,
Absolutely.
shout out to Cam Michael.
I almost forgot about that pick of Cam, Draylon, and Juju.
Juju, yeah.
That was sick.
That's the future right there, brother.
And Omarion.
Also,
And
by the way,
Omarion.
so the person who keeps on commenting that we're saying Draylon wrong and that it's Draylon, we asked him. He said it's Draylon.
Yeah. Next is from Robert Northrop. He said, elite running back, O-line, and tight ends. Carday and the IMG crew are next. Prime will also find more portal talent. Absolutely. We're just getting started. It's about to be a fun next 4 to 6 weeks, man.
Absolutely. We're going to get 2 or 3 very experienced, high-caliber corner safeties out of the portal. Same thing with the linebacker room. This is... To say that this is just beginning would be lying. They hadn't even started yet. Like, we're going to have a nice team next year.
Let's go. Brant with the super chat, $5 says, so do you guys think that more flips are going to happen? Signing day is in 3 weeks, I do believe. wouldn't surprise me if there's another coach has another ace up his sleeve.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's going to be more flips than Monday night at the Sink in Boulder, which is known as Flip Night, because you buy your drinks, you flip a coin, you call it, and if you get it right, you get your drink for a quarter.
I need to be there on Monday nights.
You do?
All right, a couple more here. Original with the $10 super chat. Devin not putting the buff sign for Juju is... I can't see the time is over this line here, so sorry. The Buff Nation...
You're struggling, bro. Do you need some
Look
help?
what do you mean? It's literally in the middle of the super chat.
Yeah, it's not your fault. It's not your fault, man.
Devin not putting out the buff signal for Juju is cold word. How he left the Buff Nation wondering.
How he left the Buff Nation wondering, does it get a Christmas gift this year? Also, why is Kansas talking so much crap this week? Thank you, Original.
I need that ball to be touching you in 3 places. You need a 3-pointer.
5 points of pressure, brother.
There you go.
There you go.
That's why you couldn't read that. Lock in.
Lock the function. Don Peasy with the super chat. Like Pastor, I don't say God chooses who wins games, but I believe God chose Coach Prime to lead CU to greatness. The rejected will be respected. Fire super chat.
My
Thank
God.
you, Don Peasy.
Pastor cooked with that speech.
Yeah, he did.
I was floored watching that.
Pastor's
The real
got a
one.
little Coach Prime in him when it comes to standing in front of a crowd and talking.
I also love that everyone, and Pastor is really like a part of the team, so that
Yeah.
makes sense. But I love how everyone who gets out in front of the team, like, wants to, like, inspire them, Like, when we saw the fireman Dan out there, who, by the way, hit us up and said it's a Mountain View Fire Department, so shout out to him. But he, he's kind of giving them his speech, like he's the coach. I just love it. I hope the players feel that, like, everyone is just behind them and wants to do anything they can to help them.
Yep. Last one from Michael Britt, $20 super chat. Hopefully with Juju committing, this will help shut up Stephen A. and all the, quote, experts wanting
won't.
Coach Prime to leave for the
It
SEC or NFL.
It won't, because here's the reality. The
Stephen A.
story
hates
has
Boulder.
the story has life. That's why they keep doing it every day.
Yep.
Exactly.
And then in real world reality, players can transfer. So that's all they're going to add to it now is, if Prime gets offered to Florida State, he just take Juju with him. He has a quarterback. So it's not going to stop.
Yep. It will never stop.
It's never that easy. Coach just leaves. Oh, all the players are coming. I mean, look at what happened
Jed
with
Fish thought
Jed
it would be
Fish.
that
Yeah,
easy.
exactly.
And he didn't, reportedly, he didn't even talk to Noah Fafita and Tedero McMillan before doing that. And he just thought they would come along with him.
That's what happens.
Bad move.
That's it.
Nice job, Jake. Way to hold
Thank
the
you.
ball.
Good job by you, Unc.
We locked the
Good
fuck
job
in.
by you, RK
Great
and
job,
Scotty.
everyone.
Good stuff, squad.
For real, though.
Glad you found your brush.
Me too, man.
Today is a legendary day
Absolutely.
in Colorado football history, and while this chapter is still in maybe the best part of the whole book, or this book is in the best chapter of the whole book, I think it officially marks the beginning of the next book,
Yep.
which is going to be another great read in the series.
Cannot wait, man.
I'm laughing, particularly, I think it was you. Text messages are not always secure, so I try to talk in code. And when you hit me like 24 hours later, said, I think I just got this.
Yeah.
I was dying laughing.
I didn't even get it until
No.
RK did.
Yeah, I had to text
disregarded
them
it.
and be like, this is
I'm
what
like,
he
what is he
meant.
talking about?
Yeah.
Because when Jake said, what I said, okay, let me use a gift this time.
The gift made even less sense to
swear.
me.
No,
You
that's
did
the
make no
gift.
sense to me.
So I had to see the gift with a clear mind because I was reading it at night, didn't get what it meant. Then I went to sleep, woke up the next morning, and I saw it again. I'm like, oh, now I know exactly what this means.
Okay, so it's like,
Well,
it's like playing like Taboo or Pictionary or something. The second clue is not by itself; it attaches to the first clue.
we gotta talk about this off the air because it's so coded that people have no idea what we're talking about.
Oh, man, chat. Thank y'all for
Love the
everything. Again, check
God
out
bless the
Scotty's article on the site.
Yes.
Check out Duke's video on the channel. Check out all
Yes.
of Unc's stuff and subscribe to the pregame show
Yes.
on YouTube.
Shout out to the team, man. We nailed this.
Yeah, we did.
We
Yeah,
nailed.
we
I
did,
mean, we hit it
yes.
from every angle: written, video on demand, live show, graphics,
Social.
tweets, social. I mean, just
Yep.
That's what we do. But I'm proud of us.
Yep, and shout out to RC. He's down there sitting the other side of the bus. But dude's been sitting on some Twitter drafts for 5 months for this. Alrighty.
On go mode.
We'll be back. Sorry, go ahead.
I just say he's on go mode.
Oh yeah, always.
We'll be back tomorrow for pregame show. It's going to be fun. We're going to be at the team hotel.
Tomorrow will be tomorrow's show.
Yes, it will.
Not today was today's show.
This was today's show, yes. So we will not be live at 3 o'clock. Check out everything. What a day.
What a day.
Live it up. Let's go Buffs.
Congrats, Juju.
Juju.